मास मास कर मूरख झगड़े, ज्ञान ध्यान नहीं जाने। कौन मास कौन साग कहावे, किसमें पाप समाने।
गुरमुखे कूड़ न पावे, सच्चे रते सच पाए। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह जी। We've been asked by quite a few Singhs to give a response to a video which was put together by some Anti-Jhatka Singhs in Toronto. These Singhs were Jai Roop Singh, Sampuran Singh, Mehramad Singh, Pritam Singh, Inderbir Singh, and they form part of an organisation called Gurmat Bibek. They've produced a video called Sikhan Lai Maas Khana Sangat Mana Pag Ek, which basically means Sikh are forbidden from eating meat. Video part 1. First and foremost, I would like to say that all the people that have been in touch with myself or with other Singhs that are pro Guru Maryada, pro Jhatka Maryada, or been in touch with other organizations like Buddha Dal and other Nahangs, things aren't going to change by looking to others to help you. Things are only going to change when every Gursikh becomes a Koji and every Gursikh makes their own effort to learn about our Itihas, to learn the correct interpretations of Gurbani, to cross-reference the Gurbani against other Gurbani to make sure it's been understood correctly, to cross-reference Itihas against Itihas, to make sure that people can't turn around and say you've chosen a certain granth or a certain author to justify your understanding. Basically, from our research in Itihas, all Itihas basically tells the same story. You have differences in dates and mistakes in names of certain individuals, but the basic principles of Itihas all align. Some Itihas uses a lot of metaphor, allegorical examples, similes, and these need to be understood through Khoj, the same way that Gurbani needs to be understood through Khoj. Gurbani also uses metaphors, allegorical examples and similes. Not everything is always as read. Furthermore, Gurbani and Itihas should both be cross-referenced against Puratan Rahats. There are many Puratan Rahats and there are some differences in the Rahats, but again the majority of what Rahats say all aligns. So my first benti is to all of the people that support Jhatka Maryada, that support Shikaar, that support Shastra Vidya. We call these the Yudh Rahats of the Khalsa Panth, because the Khalsa Panth is a forge and Singhs are supposed to be soldiers. Even if they're living a Grisht lifestyle, their daily practices should still involve as much of the Puratan Rahats as is possible and as opportunity provides, alongside the core fundamentals of Nitnem, Bani recitation, Bani Khoj, and most of all, Naam Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, Naam Simran. A difference is only going to be made when Gursikhs stop relying on Jathebandiyan, on celebrity personalities, on Sant Babe, to understand what the fundamentals of Sikhi are and to find answers to questions which are not always easy to find because of current perceptions, because of modern perceptions and modern practices. This video that the Singhs have produced is 32 minutes long. It's basically a machine gun fire of random pangatiya from Gurbani to justify their personal belief that meat is not allowed. First and foremost, it's probably worth just explaining where this belief in not eating meat stemmed from. So first of all, the widely respected Veer Singh, upon whose beliefs and practices the Anti-Jhatka is based, took Amrit from Panj Pyare The head of those Panj Pyare was somebody called Teja Singh Basoor. Teja Singh Basoor, unfortunately, became one of the most famous Panthik dushts in the last century. He started a lot of innovations, some of which were Bibiyan have to wear a keski, that keski is a kakar, that Ragmala is not Bani, and more to the point today, that maas is banned for all Sikhs. He also tried to remove Bhagat Bani from Sri Guru Granth Sahib and placed a lot of doubts on Sri Dasam Granth Sahib as well. Eventually, the Khalsa Panth put an end to these innovations and he was excommunicated from the Khalsa Panth. At this time, even Bairandir Singh stopped talking to him. But by this time, a lot of the innovations had taken root. Even though he was excommunicated from the Khalsa Panth, and Bairandir Singh respected this decision of Akal Takht and the Panth and stopped talking to him, a lot of his innovations remained, and they remain till today. So that's just a very, very brief background into why these respected Singhs have a strong belief that mass is not allowed. And we'll try and respond to each of the points that these things make in a civilized way, and we'll hope they do the same. The bottom line is that we don't believe that they will change their views. So I don't believe this video to be a charcha. I don't believe it to be a discussion, because a discussion can only be had when two parties are searching for the truth. In the case of these things, I truly believe that they hold the views of the Akhand Kirtan Jhatka and Bairandir Singh up and above everything else. So I don't think that their views will change. But really, this video is for those who are on the sidelines and those who are interested in learning about Sikhi from the evidence perspective. The evidence perspective, like we say, comes from Itihas, from Puratan Rahats and from Gurbani, all three. So let's listen to the introduction of this video.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਲਕਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹਿਸ ਛਿੜ ਪਈ ਹੈ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕਈ ਦਹਾਕਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੋਈ ਦੁਬਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ।
So the introduction of this video says that in the last few decades there has been no duality or confusion about eating maas amongst the Sikhs. No, there hasn't, because all of the Nahangdals, most of the Singhs in Maharashtra, especially Hyderabad and Nanded, they've continued to practice Jhatka and Shikaar maryada as normal. Of course, there's been no dubda or confusion amongst the Singhs who have been preserving and practicing the Guru given maryada over the last 300 years. Predominantly, all of the Nahangdals, the Hazuri Singhs from Maharashtra, Nanded, Hyderabad, these things have been practicing and preserving Guru's given maryada for the last 300 years without confusion, without interference, without misinterpretation. And those things that have been influenced or taken Khande de Pahal from organizations where vegetarianism has been introduced, they've continued to believe and practice what they believe to be true. So this statement is neither here nor there.
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ 1978 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 1992 ਤੱਕ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣ ਦੇ ਉਲਟ ਸਨ।
So now they justify this by saying that all of the Singhs from 78 to 92, which was a very turbulent period in Punjab, were all against eating meat. So I'm not sure where they get this information from. Was a survey done? Have they got a register of all the people that were involved in the troubles in this period? What about the period from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's time up until 1978? What about the 500 years prior to that? Why is that being excluded? Why is that not being given any relevance? If we read all our Itihas, right from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Sakhi in Kurukshetra, where the Shabd Maas Kar Murkha Jhagre was first uttered to Pandit Nannu, the first meeting of Guru Amar Das Ji and Guru Angad Dev Ji, where Guru Angad Dev Ji is eating a meal of bakra, and where Baba Amar Das Ji, coming from a Vaishnava background, sees this. Guru Angad Dev Ji kindly and compassionately request that Baba Amardas Ji is served a vegetarian meal, but Baba Amardas Ji wants his mat and the Guru's mat to be one, and refuses the vegetarian meal and asks Guru Angad Dev Ji to give him some of the food from his own plate, and this eliminates his duality, his dubda, and it eliminates his lifetime of belief that the Vesnu mat was correct. What about Guru Har Gobind Sahib hunting and the Akal Sena hunting with him, and Guru Har Gobind Sahib eating meat? And last but not least, what about Guru Gobind Singh's many examples in Itihas of hunting, of eating their hunt, of performing Jhatka themselves, of asking Panj Pyare to perform Jhatka, of getting Madhu Das's pet goats Jhatkaad for the langar of the Singhs, Madhu Das also being a fanatical vegetarian. What about the many recorded instances in the 18th century and the 19th century of Singhs eating maas? And I can go on. And all of these Singhs who ate maas were famous shaheeds of this panth. They were the shan of the panth. They defeated the Mughals. They created a Khalsa Raj in Punjab. Why is all of this history being dismissed? Why are all of our shaheeds prior to 1978 being dismissed? This argument is a misnomer. It's a distraction.
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਿਰਲੱਥ ਯੋਧਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਅਸਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਰਹਿਤਾਂ ਬਹਿਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਸਨ ਉਹ ਪੰਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਕਬੂਲ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ। ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਮੀਟ ਖੋਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਜਾਂ ਲੁਕੇ ਰਹੇ ਜਾਂ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਪੱਖ ਪੂਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ।
So now there's a dig and an India of Singhs that eat meat, of Singhs that practice Guru's Jhatka maryada, that they were hiding during this time, or that they were subservient to the Indian government. Again, I'm not sure where he gets this information from. So this is clearly an attack and a dig at the Nahang Singhs. Again, that doesn't deal with all of the Singhs in Nanded, in Hazur Sahib, in Hyderabad, the large population we have there. So this is just clearly an attack on the Nahang Singhs, which is quite ironic, as these Singhs are wearing the bana of the Nahang Singhs. They're wearing Neela bana, they're wearing damale, they're wearing chakar on their damale. So they're actually imitating the bana of the Nahang Singhs, and at the same time they're insulting the Nahang Singhs. There were actually Nahang Singhs who were involved in 1984 who ate meat. Bhai Avtar Singh Brahma being one of the most famous, from Bidhi Chand, and ironically he was the Jhatkai of Bidhi Chand. So he was the main Singh that performed Jhatka on special occasions like Dussehra, Vaisakhi, Diwali, etc. So again, this point is just a massive distraction, trying to play on people's emotions on 84 and keep on using the example of 1984 and ignoring everything before 84 and everything afterwards.
ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਮੌਤ ਦਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਾਬਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਕਿ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣਾ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਹੈ।
Then they say it's become a matter of life and death for Singhs to prove that eating meat is allowed according to Gurbani. I've personally not met any Singhs for who it's a matter of life and death to prove that eating meat is accepted in Gurbani. If anything, the people that always start the arguments are from these kind of camps, and they get very angry, they insult people that follow Guru's maryada, they emotionally blackmail, they insult Itihas, they'll insult Rehat, anything that gives the official stance of Guru maryada, they'll say that it's false or it's altered by the British, etc, etc. The people we know that practice Jhatka maryada, they practice it quietly, they practice it very peacefully, quietly, they don't push it on anybody. And here's the funny thing, the people that practice Jhatka maryada, they don't force it on anybody, they don't push it on anybody. They practice the maryada, they preserve the maryada. If people are interested, they'll speak about it, they'll educate people about the maryada. If people are interested, they may even show them the maryada. But I've never come across any Singhs that push the maryada on on vegetarians, or who insult vegetarians for being vegetarians. It's actually the other way around. There's many people from these kind of camps that will always push the vegetarian agenda. They're the ones that start the arguments. If a video or if an article is put up just giving facts from Itihas or from Rehat talking about Guru's maryada, then there'll be a massive backlash from these kinds of people, bombarding the article or the page with single lines of Gurbani, emotionally blackmailing, saying Pai Sahib this and Pai Sahib that said this, that means you disagree with them. Well, only Guru is Puran. So yes, we do disagree on some points, even with respected Singhs, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to hate somebody or love somebody. You can highly respect people and disagree with certain points. There could be people that you don't like most things about, and yet you can still recognize some good in them. The world's not black and white.
ਉਹ ਨਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਮੀਟ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਬਲਕਿ ਇਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਮੀਟ ਖਾਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਣ.
So they say not only do they eat meat, they desire for all Gursikhs to eat meat. Well, again, I think that's a lie. I've not met any Singhs who consume Jhatka maas who force it on anybody else. A very good example of that is if you go to Hola Mahalla, the traditional celebration of the Lardali Forge of the Nahang Singhs, you will openly see the Nahang Singhs practicing Shastra Vidya, doing Kor Swar. You'll openly see them doing Jhatka, preparing the Jhatka, and they serve the Mahaprasad to the sangat that passes. They don't force it on anybody. Those people that wish to partake. Those that don't. There's no prachar forcing people to eat maas. But on the other side, these people will disown you if they find out that you eat maas. These people will argue with you, they will debate you, they will insult you if they find out you eat maas. From reading a little bit of history on Bhai Ranveer Singh, Bhai Ranveer Singh was a massive advocate of vegetarianism, and to the point where he even wrote a book on why we shouldn't eat maas. And there's very famous arguments which he had against a very highly respected Gursikh, Akali Kaur Singh, who did a massive Panthik Seva of comparing a lot of Puratan Granths and finding the differences between them. He also played a very important role from saving a lot of Hindu Sikh girls during the partition, and he put his own life in danger many times to rescue these girls and even safely transport Muslimania back to the new Pakistan. So this was somebody that was highly respected, and very famously Bhai Ranveer Singh had arguments with him, got heated with him, got angry with him, and you can read that for yourself in Bhai Ranveer Singh's books. So this whole thing about people who eat meat trying to force it on other people, it's not true at all. Those Singhs who eat meat and eat it according to maryada, they're quite happy for other people to make their own choice. For a lot of these people, they have vegetarian family members, and it's not an issue. The vegetarian family members choose to be vegetarian out of choice, but they respect Guru's maryada and they respect the right for other Singhs to follow Guru's maryada. How can there ever be ekta in the Panth if people cannot respect the Puratan maryada? We would say to these Singhs to bring forward proof that Singhs out there are forcing or pushing other people to eat meat. I don't believe this. Singhs out there are certainly sharing Guru's original maryada as a point of prachar, sharing information which has been hidden and suppressed for over 100 years. And the Jhatka and Shikaar maryada is only one of many points which Singhs are trying to research and bring back to the fore.
ਉਹ ਮਾਸ ਦਾ ਝਗੜਾ ਆਪ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਮਾਸ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਭਣਦੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਨ ਜੋ ਮਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ। ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਮਾਸ ਮਾਸ ਕਰ ਮੂਰਖ ਝਗੜੇ ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣੈ। ਪਰ ਇਸ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਦਾ ਭਾਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਤਾਂ ਇਤਿਹਾਸਕ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਝਗੜਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਪੰਡਤ ਲਈ ਸੀ, ਜੋ ਮਾਸ ਦੇ ਤਿਆਗ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਧਰਮ ਸਮਝ ਬੈਠਾ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਪੱਖਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਪੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਹੀਣਾ ਸੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਾਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਝਗੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਮੂੰਹੋਂ ਮਾਸ ਕਢਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਦੀ ਰੋਸ਼ਨੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੱਖ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ।
So these Singhs now mention that those Singhs that eat maas, according to Guru's maryada, that they will always recite and recall the pangatiya of maas kar murkh jhagre. They then try and educate us that the related Sakhi was about a pandit who thought that not eating maas was the way to mukti. This isn't quite true. Actually, the pandit's name was Pandit Nannu, and the Sakhi occurred in Kurukshetra, and it was a Kshatriya prince who hunted a deer and presented it to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji happily accepted it and asked Bhai Mardana to cook it for langar. So first and foremost, the Sakhi shows that Guru Nanak Dev Ji ate maas. It shows that Guru Nanak Dev Ji accepted Shikaar as an approved method of slaughter. This can further be verified by looking at Guru Gobind Singh's Puratan Rahats, which you can find in Prem Sumarg Granth. You can find in a lot of itihas, but predominantly in Panth Prakash, which say that if Singhs are going to eat maas, then the preferable way to kill the animal is through doing Shikaar, and if not, then Jhatka. So that's an example of a cross-reference of two Sakhyas. What Guru Nanak Dev Ji accepted is what Guru Gobind Singh Ji practiced. Secondly, Pandit Nannu was a fanatical vegetarian. The issue wasn't even about him being a vegetarian. The issue was about him being a fanatical vegetarian, which means that it's not just about your personal choice or belief of what you eat, but about the aggression that you show towards people who don't follow your personal belief of being a vegetarian. And Pandit Nannu was a Brahman, and it's the Brahmans during the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and afterwards that pushed the vegetarian diet. And the reason Pandit Nannu became angry was because there was a solar eclipse happening at that time, and the solar eclipse was considered a divine occasion, and he got angry that somebody in the forest during that time of the solar eclipse was cooking meat. So actually the Sakhi is about two things. One is about the foolishness and stupidity of arguing against eating meat, and secondly it's about superstition, about what somebody can eat and when. In this Sakhi, the Pandit actually comes forward to attack and kill Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji very calmly says, that's fine, you can come forward to try and attack me and kill me, but think, if killing a deer is a paap during this holy occasion of the solar eclipse, then what about killing a human being? Further, Guru Nanak Dev Ji educates him that a human life is higher than an animal life, and he explains why. Guru Nanak Dev Ji explains about the difference in a human mind and an animal's mind, about the intellectual, intuitive, subconscious and sublime elements of the mind which separate us from animals. Guru Nanak Dev Ji then says what is the greatness in not eating meat and what is improper in eating meat. Guru Nanak Dev Ji then goes on to give the real examples of what a paap is considered with regards to maas, i.e. coveting another man's wife. The Sakhi is actually huge and gives a lot of information. So to pass it off by giving one simple line which takes you away from the ocean of wisdom in that Sakhi does not do it justice. So these are the kind of reasons why we don't like to debate with these kind of people, because rather than discuss one thing in detail with evidence in depth, they just like to chuck random pangatiya, random one-line understandings of itihas at you, rather than exploring and trying to understand a shabd in complete form or a Sakhi in complete form. The maas kar murkh jhagre shabd is actually the only shabd in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji which specifically tackles the topic of mass. There is no other shabd which is only about the topic of mass. So to mention this shabd when people are arguing against eating maas is actually the right thing to do. But not only mention the shabd, but also mention the correct context of the shabd, which is the Kurukshetra Sakhi. So we would implore all people who are genuine khojis, genuine researchers, to look up the shabd yourself, to read the original Sakhi yourself, and to make up your own mind. The great thing is, it doesn't actually need any interpretation. It's absolutely black and white. Then he says that we don't argue with anybody about mass, nor take mass out of anybody's mouth. Well, it'd be difficult to take mass out of somebody's mouth. Somebody might not take too kindly to someone trying to stick their fingers in your mouth and taking food out. So either you'd be arrested for hassling somebody, or you'd probably get your teeth kicked in.
ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਸ ਦੇ ਮਸਲੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਬਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣਾ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੱਖ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਤੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੇ ਹਵਾਲੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮਾਸ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਦਲੀਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਖੇਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਮਾਸ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਵਿਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿਸ਼ਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਹੋਰ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਕੱਢਾਂਗੇ। ਜੋ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਖਾਈ ਜਾਣ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦਾ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਸਾਬਤ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਮਾਸ ਗੁਰਮਤ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਹੈ, ਉਦੋਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਤਰਾਜ਼ ਹੈ।
So they conclude the introduction by saying that they will prove that maas can't be eaten through discussing Gurbani and Itihas, and they also say that we've got no issue with people eating maas, we've just got issues with people justifying it through Sikhi. Well, practicing Sikhs who eat maas only eat it because the Guru made it parvaan through the maryada. Further, having watched this video, their claim of using Itihas alongside Gurbani to prove that maas is not allowed is incorrect. I can't recall them reciting any Itihasic evidence to prove that maas is incorrect because it doesn't exist. So it's taken us this long to get through a few minutes of the introduction of a 30-minute video. So it's best if we respond to this video in parts. So with this, we'll conclude part 1 of our response. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji.